The nonprofit, taxpayer-funded Vera Institute of Justice wants people to believe that the measure of success for them is how many people are not in jail. That's not how the criminal justice system works. The Vera Institute of Justice was brought in the city by the city council to perform a task. And that task is to apply a risk assessment, to be a third party, to get in between the criminal court system, speak to the defendants, determine what that defendant's story is, and apply a risk factor based on the questions they ask. At the end of those 12 questions, they come out with a number. That number is between 0 and 24. 24 is high risk. The problem is, if you have two guys standing next to each other, both having been arrested for simple burglary. It's the only arrest they've ever had in their lives. But guy number one, this is his first time ever being arrested, never been in jail. He should probably be low risk. Guy number two, it's the first problem he's had, that arrest, but he's missed court 11 times. He should be a higher risk. In a scale of 0 to 24, with 12 questions, a guy who misses court, which is what pretrial release is all about, not missing court, but a guy who misses court 11 times, 12 times, 20 times, gets 1 point. He's 1 point worse than the guy who's never been arrested before. The Vera Institute of Justice can only be judged based on the risk assessments they apply, based on the questionnaire provided. The risk assessments performed by the Vera Institute of Justice can be done by the court system. In fact, they are done by the court system, by every level. The only thing the Vera Institute of Justice brings to the criminal court justice system is a price tag. Anything they do can be done by the courts, has been done by the courts, and will always be done by the courts, whether the Vera Institute of Justice is there or not. The Vera Institute of Justice cannot argue with the truth. And the truth is, their job is to apply risk assessments to defendants as they come through the criminal court justice system. If their job is to apply criminal court justice system risk assessments, then their proof is the assessments, not the number of people not in jail. Tell the city council the Vera Institute of Justice needs to release their assessments before getting any more of the taxpayers' money. Then there's the cost of supervision. When the Vera Institute of Justice provides a referral to a judge and the judge follows it and the defendant is released for free, or if the jail's too small and there's no room and the defendant is released for free, who goes after them when they don't come back for court? The New Orleans Police, the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Department, the District Attorney's Investigative Division. Who spends the money to enforce the rules when Vera's in charge of supervision? The truth is, the Vera Institute of Justice refuses to release their risk assessments to the public. They claim privacy concerns, but there's nothing in the risk assessment that's not in a public record. The Times-Picayune proved that when the Vera Institute failed to confirm whether or not Akeem Scott had ever been arrested before in another place. The Times-Picayune did a simple Google search and found out that he had been arrested on a marijuana charge, and the Vera Institute of Justice reported he had never been arrested on another charge. The truth is, the Vera Institute of Justice won't release their risk assessments because it exposes the truth about Vera. And the truth about the Vera Institute of Justice is they're a program that has existed in the American court systems since the beginning of the American court systems. Pre-trial is a release from jail before trial. And there's multiple ways to be released from jail before trial, and they include free, unsupervised release. But it's the judges who make these decisions, not a third-party, taxpayer-funded nonprofit. The Vera Institute of Justice cannot justify their position in the city if they have to use their risk assessments as a measure of their success. The one thing that they're paid to do, the one thing that the judges are supposed to get from them, the risk assessments. could possibly be the problem that the judges are having in the first place. If you're going to be in the court system and you're going to be making decisions about the release of a defendant, then those decisions are a public record issue. And the Vera Institute of Justice is required to release the risk assessments they've taken. Contact your city council person. Demand the release of the risk assessments. If Vera wants to get paid to do a job the courts do already, the least they can do is show us what we're paying them for.